Is LeBron James truly the greatest basketballer of all time? Former players, fans, and other analysts of the game can make a logical and reasonable argument that LeBron James is still behind Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball athlete of all time. Also, many can also make an honest case for the highly underrated Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. However, in light of LeBron's recent achievements, one could say that he is the greatest of all time without being wrong too. Hey guys, welcome to Information Forge, where we bring you the juiciest content. LeBron James is without a doubt the greatest basketballer of his generation if you overlook the amount of hate he receives and focus on his stats. The boy from Akron, Ohio has been a dominant force in the game for 17 years. His game's longevity is highly applauded, and at 35 years old, a few months from being 36, he still remains arguably the best player in the NBA once again. Well, with a little thanks to Kevin Durant's propensity for getting injured. Even with the emergence of top talents like Giannis Antetokounmpo, he remains a force to be feared in the game at 35. And this isn't because of his previous achievements. No, rather his numbers in the just finished season are also impressive. If anything, he has shown this season that he can adapt his playing style to his age, and he still has a lot to offer next season. Michael Jordan, LeBron's greatest rival for the greatest player title. Jordan is always the first player that the majority think of when anyone says the greatest basketball player. Jordan's fans always point out that he has won the NBA ring a record 6 times. To present a fair argument, we will stick to facts and stats because, of course, stats don't lie. Both Michael Jordan and LeBron James are considered the 2 greatest basketball players of all time. However, in the last decade, LeBron has solidified his case for the greatest in history. Analysts and pundits of the game picked up the argument from where they left off, if they ever dropped it, after LeBron won yet another championship title. LeBron led the Los Angeles Lakers to another Champions League title, winning his 4th Finals MVP in the process. The best way to determine if LeBron is the greatest of all time is to look at his statistics compared to other players of his generation. These are his stats in comparison to other top players, beginning with the playoffs this century. Number of points: LeBron James 7,491, Kobe Bryant 4,376, Tim Duncan 4,274. Number of assists: LeBron James 1,871, Tony Parker 1,143, Jason Kidd 1,046. Number of defensive rebounds: LeBron James 1,954, Tim Duncan 1,880, Dirk Nowitzki 1,234, Kevin Garnett 1,107. Number of steals: LeBron James 445, Manu Ginobili 292, Dwayne Wade 273. Number of three-pointers made: Steph Curry 470, LeBron James 414, Klay Thompson 374, Ray Allen 366. LeBron's numbers on the all-time list are also impressive, backing his claim as the best player ever. Points scored: LeBron James 7,491, Michael Jordan 5,987, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 5,762. Assists made: Magic Johnson 2,346, LeBron James 1,871, John Stockton 1,839. Steals made: LeBron James 445, Scottie Pippen 395, Michael Jordan 376. Three-pointers made: Steph Curry 470, LeBron James 414, Ray Allen 385. LeBron is behind 5 players on the all-time list for the total number of rebounds: Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Bill Russell, Duncan, and Kareem are all ahead of him. You may want to embrace your pillow and get ready for what's to come. And while you do that, you may want to click on the subscribe button and put on the notification alarm. LeBron's latest achievement. LeBron won his 4th NBA championship title on October 11, 2020. He was simultaneously named the Finals MVP for the 4th time, with only Jordan ahead of him. His recent achievement means that he is currently the only player to win the championship and MVP title with 3 different teams. He has won both titles in all 3 teams he has played for, namely the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Los Angeles Lakers. In the 2020 finals, he ended up averaging 29.8 points, 8.5 assists, and 11.8 rebounds. He did this with a 59% shooting from the floor, with 41.7% coming from the 3-point territory. His recent achievement comes in his 17th season in the NBA, a few months away from turning 36. In Game 6 of the finals, he got his 11th triple-double in the NBA Finals with 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists. His latest triple-double means that he has more finals triple-doubles than every active player in the league combined. This also means that he has gotten 25 points, 5 assists, and 10 rebounds for the 12th time in an NBA Finals game. In comparison, no player in history has up to 5. Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, 2 all-time greats, could only manage such a feat 4 times. To put it in more context, LeBron has more NBA Finals 25, 10, and 5 games than the combined efforts of Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kevin Durant, Larry Bird, Steph Curry, and Bill Russell. No offense to these great players. In the last 15 years, he has gone to the postseason 14 times. He has come out of the first round every year and has been to the finals 10 times. There have been 57 NBA Finals games in the last 10 years, and he has been featured in 51 of the 57 games. He has never been absent in any postseason game. Game 6 of the 2020 Finals was his 260th consecutive game, averaging 42 minutes every night. James has led his teams in the NBA Finals in assists, points, and rebounds 7 times. There are only 3 players with this kind of feat at least once: Jimmy Butler, Tim Duncan, and Magic Johnson. No basketball player has done it more than once apart from LeBron. The myth of LeBron shying away from his responsibilities in the clutch is totally untrue. This often spoken myth has been debunked. He scored more playoffs winning buzzer beaters than anyone in history. He has more than the combined effort of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. He has also proven decisive in Game 7s of the playoffs and elimination games, with his highest career scoring average of 34.9 points. In his career closeout games, he has the best of any player in the history of NBA postseason with 39 for 11. LeBron's stats in regular seasons are also outstanding. This year saw him score another record as he featured in the All-NBA First Team for the 13th time. This was after his average of 25.3 points, 7.8 rebounds, and leading the league with an average of 10.2 assists. This means that he is only the 6th player in the NBA's history to have an assist and a scoring title. His average of 10 assists per game means he's just a 2nd player aged 35 or older to achieve this feat. Among all active players, LeBron has scored the highest number of points. Also, he has more than 9,000 points, assists, and rebounds, being the only player in NBA history to do so. Despite all these numbers and records, he still has enough left to keep on playing at the highest level. In total, he has more points than both Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, more rebounds than both Willis Reed and Larry Bird, and more assists than Gary Payton and Isaiah Thomas in his career. What's more, his records go on. He has more blocks than Yao Ming and Scottie Pippen, more steals than either Magic Johnson or Allen Iverson, more 3-points scored than Peja Stojakovic and Kevin Durant, more triple-doubles than James Harden and Wilt Chamberlain, and more career field goal percentage than either Michael Jordan or Moses Malone. His career is filled with records both current and aspiring NBA players can only dream of. Even other top players in the league wish they have his records. The playoffs, all about the bubble. In light of the Lakers' victory over the Miami Heat, James said, "I want my damn respect too." The journey to LeBron's 4th championship title is all about the NBA experiment with the bubble. And as the Lakers held up the title in the air, the experiment came to an end. The novel coronavirus brought an end to the normal playoffs games this year. Of course, every one of our lives was also affected. Sports fans worldwide saw all their favorite sports games brought to a standstill as the whole world went on lockdown to deal with the spread of COVID-19. The NBA followed other sports, suspending the season back on March 11th of 2020. The NBA is a leader in the sporting world, making decisions that greatly impact all other sports tournaments. The choice to suspend games and playing in isolation affected how other sporting tournaments reacted to the virus, and without a doubt, the NBA bubble was a success. Players and staff had to deal with strict virus testing and medical policies. Adam Silver deserves all the praise he gets for making the bubble experiment a success. At least someone in the US was successful in keeping the virus away. LeBron and the Lakers rose to the occasion in the bubble. The players had to make a lot of sacrifices to make this experiment a success. They didn't see their families for 3 whole months, and they had to live their lives in hotel rooms with their only focus being on the next game. All the sacrifices were worth it for the Los Angeles Lakers after they won their 17th NBA championship in the bubble. Although players didn't have to fly from one city to another, they had to miss the thrilling feeling of playing in front of their fans. Teams had to deal with the loss of home court advantage. There were also no more cheers or boos. LeBron, who has had success in the East with 2 championship titles, proved his doubters wrong once again. His doubters didn't think he would be successful in the West. However, his team went on to claim the top spot in the Western Conference. Just like any other player in the bubble, LeBron had to deal with not seeing his family and having nothing to do but play basketball. So these made the 2020's playoffs one of the most difficult in history. Although many pundits might think otherwise, however, this year's NBA championship will still be counted in history. The playoff games in the bubble were not easy, and every team had to fight for what they got. The Lakers and LeBron rose to the challenge. They kept on fighting and going forward despite what was said about games in the bubble. LeBron's win in the bubble only adds to his legendary status. The argument for the greatest player in history has continued for years. However, his case for the title has never been stronger with his recent win. Many people might say that the greatest player in history must at least win 6 rings. However, the league players have proven that the NBA's greatness goes beyond just the title's number. Many pundits still consider Shaq the most dominant player in NBA history, even though he has just 4 championship titles. To the youths, the legacy of Kobe Bryant will always be higher than even Jordan's. If all a player needs to be the greatest player in history is 6 MVP and 6 rings, then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be the best player in history. In the end, people love what they love, and LeBron James' legacy speaks for itself. He continues to win over many lovers of the game as well as former champions. Apart from his success on the court, LeBron's legacy off the court has made him one of the world's most recognizable faces. He has spoken out against social problems as well as racism. He has been criticized for speaking out. However, he still continues to call out systemic racism. His influence spreads to the entertainment industry. LeBron's Spring Hill Company hires women and people of color in a higher proportion for the entertainment industry. You may still think otherwise, however, stats don't lie. That is, if you overlook Jordan's 6 championship titles and MVP Finals awards. Let us know in the comments section who your best player of all time is and why. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and turn on post notifications for more amazing videos.